Football's right around the corner. Football's right around the corner. 2 weeks until the football season has begun. The NFL is getting hot. NFL is getting hot. And I know who else is getting hot. The GM of Philadelphia Eagles. How he did it again. How he did it again. He got us on wide receiver 3. And when we look at when we're looking all about that, we're looking at the NFL schedule of the Eagles. So, what happened in the schedule? Why are we looking at something so early in the schedule? With that being said, I got the coldest podcast in the game with the coldest panel in the game. With that being said, you already know what to do. Cue the music. Welcome to the Skybox, where we give our epic perspective in an imperfect sports world. Now let me introduce you to the coldest panel in the game. You already know who I got when I stick my arms out. You know who he is. My guy, Daryl T. What's good with you, fella?
Hey, you know what I mean? You already know, blessed and highly favored. You know what I mean?
You already know. You already know when you see them get them up downs, you know those bear crawls going all up in there. But he already knows right now, training camp is over. He knows what time it is. It's time to get it all ready. He got his plans ready. He got the clipboard ready and fired up. It's time. Coach Twilight. What's good with you, guy?
Get your popcorn ready. We're about to slay some people. I had to wear different gloves for this one today.
You already know. Next, he runs down the aisle and shakes the room like the ultimate warrior. My guy in the trenches. You know what we doing. You know what we got to do for 20 weeks, my guy. You know who it is. One word. Mamba. What's good with you?
Yo, don't let Coach kid you. He's using those gloves to clean up after himself. You know what it is.
You already know what it is. I got the coldest panel in the game. You know I got the coldest podcast in the game. You know what you need to do. Hit that subscribe button. It's only $3.99. Let's get right into it. Howie, you did it again. You went to another rival and helped us get what we needed plugged in, a wide receiver 3. Went out there and got Washington. Dodson. Woo, baby. Let's get it popping. It's real easy. This is real simple. Man to man, it ain't happening. We are seeing nothing but zone right now. We will be seeing nothing but zone. But oops, there's a problem. Look back in the backfield. 2-6 will be ready and tuned up and fired up. You already know what it is. Thoughts? Mamba. We got a new receiver. Let's go.
I love it. I mean, he went out, he got what he wanted, a number 3 receiver. You know, Dotson had a bad year last year, still caught 50 balls, 500 yards. Think about that in itself. He duplicates that for how he gave up for it. I mean, what is it? A 5th round pick we get too, which we all know Howie has a tendency to turn 5th round picks into 3 and 2. And then we gave up 2 7th round picks and a 3rd round pick for Dotson. So he did his homework. He did what he needed to do. I'm happy about that at the number 3 spot. Seriously.
Me too. I cannot lie one bit. That's a huge pickup. It really, I'm going to be honest. And now it shows that Philadelphia has turned into an offensive team. They are not defensive anymore. We're young. We got defense. We have a defensive-minded coach with Vic Fangio, but we are now showing that we are definitely more offensive. We paid all of our offensive weapons. Big money. So now the question is, who does it lie on? There's only one man. I was giving it all to you. Jalen, you got to produce now. There's no question asked. No question asked. Daryl, your thoughts?
I mean, I still thought defense wins championships, but we could get all the bells and the whistles and the let all the Eagles fans write Saquon Barkley and AJ's name in cursive on a piece of paper, and let's say that we're gonna have the dream team. This team is so good. This is, without a doubt, this is the best team that I've never seen play on the field ever in my life. Like the best team I've never seen play is the Eagles right now, because they act like it's like this. Oh, we got it made. We're gonna go to the Super Bowl. Like, y'all are literally putting a target on you. You're putting a target on you. And let's see if y'all ready for that target. Because y'all had one last year and y'all wasn't ready for it. So let's see.
You agree with Daryl? Comment below. Coach, we got something going on here. When we look at this schedule, I want thoughts from all y'all. I'm going to go down the first 4 games. Packers in Brazil, we're versus Falcons at the crib. Then we go to the Saints. Then we hit our nightmare from Elm Street that happened last year to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What's your early thoughts when it comes to these 4 games? Will it make or break our season if we go, let's say, under 500?
Let's look at this clearly. If you go under 500 your first 4 games, that coach needs to be fired immediately. They have literally given this man a Mercedes of all Mercedes. He has his plethora of picks, from his quarterback to his running, well, the running backs has been, to the receivers. So you're not running the ball, you're throwing the ball. Saquon's just there to block. Let's call that a spade a spade. And if he don't pull a hamstring before the 4th game of the season, which he always does, then we'll go from there. But if you go under 500, the coach needs to be fired.
Wow. Let me ask you this, Mamba. Listening to those games, how do you feel that this team could possibly come out in the first 4 games? Do you think it could derail their whole season? Or do you think this could be a push to go into the playoffs?
Right now, I think the Eagles' mindset is that they're ready. They saw what happened last year in December. And not boasting, they're not creating bulletin board material, but there are a lot of teams out there going, ooh, eesh. They're scary. Daryl's right. On paper, they look fantastic. But what it comes down to is the execution, the X's and the O's. And Coach called it. If he goes under 500, he's no longer the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles. Can the Eagles go 3-1 in those 4 games? Absolutely. I mean, every Eagles fan wants them to go 4-0, but realistically speaking, the Eagles should be 3-1 after those 4 games.
Okay. Daryl, do you see the one game I'm looking at in that schedule, just those 4 games, possibly the New Orleans Saints could possibly be a trap game. Do you disagree or do you agree?
I think New Orleans will be a trap game if the bull out of Green Bay go to Brazil and he do what he do against y'all to shut y'all up in week 1, and then Uncle Kurt going down in the ATL He did y'all work before. He might hit y'all with a little L sandwich that day. Then y'all gonna be all, oh no, we gotta beat the Saints. We gotta beat the Saints. And then y'all gonna go in there. And if y'all take a L there, But to answer your question, no, it won't be a trap game. I'll probably bet on that game. I don't care if it's like a 14-point spread. They're gonna do work on it because either they're gonna be 1-1, 2-0, or 0-2, and they're gonna need a statement win. And it's gonna be that game.
A statement win. Interesting. There was a statement that happened last year in the divisional round. Tampa Bay did what they needed to do and clapped us, but good. Going into week 4, we have Tampa Bay at Tampa Bay. Coach, what do you think the mindset of the Eagles should be going into that game?
I said they should have, like they should. Got a high power revenge. They should be thinking about how much points they should put on the board. They should. I know it's illegal in the NFL, but quietly, I'll be betting amongst ourselves on how many points I'm gonna put on the board. Mm-hmm. I got high schoolers that put more points on the board than the Falcons.
It ain't a win when you beat a team in the regular season after they beat you in the playoffs. That's not a dub. That's still an overall L. Same way y'all did with the Chiefs last year. When y'all beat the Chiefs in the regular season, that was still an L. Y'all still felt the Super Bowl. That ain't no dub. If we beat Green Bay in the season, I don't care about that. That don't do nothing. I don't think that's revenge.
I do, because that establishes the fact that we're controlling the NFC. That means we get a better seat in the playoffs. So that game does mean something. It means something to you too. You want us to lose.
Y'all would have easily beat the Buccaneers if y'all had Saquon Barkley. You're talking two totally different teams. These aren't even the same teams to say, like, I have revenge against a team that I had a different OC and a different BC and a different RB against. You're not even the same team to have a revenge.
You still wear the jersey that says Tampa Bay. And for every player, that myself included, who wore a high school jersey, if we got our ass beat in the playoffs the year before, we came out the next year and beat their ass no matter what, regular season or playoffs. That's a player's mentality. That's what you got to do. So whether it's the NFL, college, or high school, the point is you go out and you win the game. You get revenge.
Wins count in the playoffs. That's when the wins count.
Overall, you don't go to the playoffs.
Ask the New England Patriots if regular season wins count. Just ask them. Ask them how much they count.
Again, what I said is
they don't.
Wins translates to going to the playoffs.
Playoff wins count.
So let me ask you this.
Whatever you say.
Let me ask you this. I want your thoughts. Comment below. I want to ask you guys this question then. By just looking at those 4 games, honest opinion, what's their record? Talk to me, Mama.
3-1.
Daryl.
2-2.
Coach.
2-2.
All right. Okay. All right.
Barely. 2-2.
We're going down. We got one thing that really came really early, and that's a bye week in week 5. Early bye weeks can be a disaster in the long run. Because when you really look at it, that's a lot of football down the road. Mama, my question to you with that early bye week, do you feel that will hurt us or help us in the long run?
If they're sitting at 2-2, it helps them. If they're sitting at 3-1, it helps them. If they're 0-4, it don't matter.
Good opinion. I agree. If they are not at least above, they have to be above 500. They're above 500, they'll be fine with that. But again, that's a long stretch they have. Let's look at the final stretch. Because when it comes down to the NFC East, it always seems like the final 4 games always really matter. So let's look at the last 4 games. Versus Steelers, at Washington, versus the Cowboys, and versus the Giants. Listening to what those games are at the end of the season, because those games are playoff seeding or you're out. I really feel it's going to be to the point you're either on the bubble or it's going to be just you getting in the playoffs at that point. Question for you, Daryl. What's your thoughts about those last 4 games in those seasons?
I mean, those last 4 games are your coach's job. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, division games, records don't matter. I agree regular season wins don't matter, but division games, that's like 2 wins at one time. So those are the games that I guess if you would say matter the most, then they matter the most. But I mean, division games are going to be hard. There's going to be teams gunning for you. Dan Quinn hasn't liked y'all since he's been on the Cowboys. He's on the Commanders now. Cowboys and the Eagles usually split somewhere. If not, Cowboys beat them twice. I mean, Giants, it's going to be 2 dubs. I mean, it don't matter where you play. You could play at Bloomsburg. You know what I mean? That's 2 dubs.
All right, so let me ask you, Coach. Final 4 games. What's your thoughts?
Well, let's be real about this. In the final 4 games, you got 3 at home. They should be winnable games. Well, yeah, Dallas, you get winnable games because Dak always get frozen at some point in time, but that's another story. Now, the Steeler games are it's the bragging rights for the state. So they're gonna make that a big game because it's bragging rights for the state. North versus East versus West. I have it now. Aliquippa versus Amani Christian. Aliquippa versus Emotep. It's the same thing. It's all about bragging rights for that. But the last 3 games, yeah, the Giants is a dub. Washington may give them maybe a 4-point spread. Cowboys, depending on how Dak plays, which in this case, for a contract, he might show up. I doubt it, but he might show up.
Mom, what do you think?
I'm looking at least 3-1.
3-1?
3-1.
3-1. Mom, what's your thoughts in the last 4 games?
I could see 3-1 for sure. That Pittsburgh game is going to be tough no matter what. Washington, again, what Washington team showing up? The Giants, we all know they're horrible. And again, Dallas, what happened the first time around, may transpire into something like an Eagle loss at home. Who knows? But I do see 3-1.
3-1. 3-1. All right, so now, at this point, I want you guys to really, really tap into what I'm about to ask you. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to tap into the schedule. We're going to tap in between the lines now. We're out of the first 4. We're going to get back. Now we're going into week 6. They're a win or loss versus the Browns at Philly.
Oh, win.
Win or loss, Coach, Giants in New York.
Really? You did say the Giants, right?
Don't matter if it's in the North Pole.
I thought you were saying the Jets. I was going to say that was going to be the Jets, but you said the Giants. That's a dub.
Mm-hmm.
That's a dub.
So let me ask you this. At the Bengals, Mamba, who you like?
Ooh. Yeah, you better think hard on that one, buddy. Yeah.
He's like, I just hope Joe Burrow's injured.
Yeah. You better hope something.
So in all of this, honestly, it's where's the momentum at that point in time?
That's
You know
true.
what I'm saying? It's the momentum. Like if the Eagles are riding high and things are clicking, they beat them in Cincinnati. It doesn't matter.
They might smack them.
Exactly. Now, if they're subpar and Sirianni's fired, they're getting their ass kicked in Cincinnati.
All right. Daryl, we're now going to Jacksonville's coming to us. Who wins?
Oh man, I think if that'll be Nick Sirianni's coup d'éclat of coach in that game, just to prove to Philly, don't miss this guy. I'm still here. So I think that'll be a statement game for Philly. I think Nick Sirianni's gonna get the team real hyped that week.
Coach Twilight. We're at Dallas.
We got that done. Let's go. Hey, come on,
What week is this again?
hey.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it does. You
Yeah,
have
it
beginning
does.
Dak,
Yeah,
you
it
have
does.
middle Dak, and you got sucky Dak.
Oh, no,
It matters.
Hey,
It's
and you got the
almost like-
Ewok
it's
at
almost
running
like
back.
Black Lives
So,
Matter. Beginning Dak, he hot. Middle Dak, he's iffy. Ending Dak, he just sucks. So if y'all in the middle of the week, y'all might get iffy Dak. Y'all might catch us when we have to hand off the ball to the Ewok. I mean,
There you go.
Ezekiel Elliott.
Let's go.
So I'm gonna go ahead and give y'all that dub.
thank
Wow.
you.
Hey,
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, Mamba, we're going to Washington.
Yeah.
They're coming to us.
Oh, yeah. In the beginning, yeah, they are.
We win.
I think them coming to us. Here's what it boils down to, and I'm looking at this not as an Eagles fan right now. If the Eagles are gonna make a statement, they've got to win the winnable games. Washington right now is a winnable game, no matter what, whether we go there or they come to us. You got to win those games, and not only that, you've got to impress upon the division that says, stop us, because you have the talent. The defense, preseason is preseason. It's overrated practice. So the starters haven't been playing, but I will say this one thing. According to actual news reports, like real news, the Eagles have practiced more this offseason than they did last season. And that translates. The fact that Fangio is telling defensive players, tackle, hit guys hard. They were in film room watching 7 hours of Ray Lewis, Reggie White, LT. He's basically
Micah
saying
Parsons.
you have to have this mentality on defense to impose your will. And if the Eagles can do that, they can bring back that kind of gangrene defense that I remember growing up. It's going to be tough for any team to play Philly this year.
Rams, coach, who do you like?
Rams.
Now we're coming to Baltimore. Daryl, who do you like?
Baltimore.
Then the Panthers are coming to us, Mama. Who do you like?
It's a blowout, bro. That's going to be like 39-0. I mean,
I'm putting money on that game.
yeah, I mean,
I want to hear your prediction, and I want to hear your predictions. Comment below. What's you guys' final predictions of the Eagles 2024-2025 season? And I'll give you mine at the end. Daryl,
12-5.
Mamba,
12-5.
Coach.
11-6.
I agree with you, Coach. I said 11-6. I said 11-6. I want to know what you guys think. Tell me your thoughts. Comment below. With that being said, thank you for watching the Skybox. exclusively on YouTube. If you have any thoughts, questions, or concerns, email us at the number one skybox at gmail.com. It's me, Michael C. The source of life, over the mic. I got the coldest panel in the game. I got the coldest podcast in the game. I'm going to leave you with these 4 words. Now let's make it epic.
12-5 and get knocked out in the first round. Go Cowboys.
Somebody need to drug test that man.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's make this epic. If you like this episode, you should see who we think are going to be the shockers of the NFL in this 2024-2025 season.